goes the wrong way, and Ghana are going the right way.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. We're live here at the presser room at the media center here in Doha, Qatar. And today it's time to talk about the Ghana Black Stars as we prepare for that all-important clash with South Korea. You've seen the pre-match press conference. We've heard them talk. We'll be running through a few of the comments that were passed by Coach Otto and the coach of South Korea. We'll look at the pre-match build-up to that game. We'll also talk about my possible starting 11 as well as the final training session that was had earlier on today. As usual, subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates. So we know the World Cup is pulling up a few surprises, and the latest just happened. Yes, you heard me right. Costa Rica have beaten Japan. Japan, who came from behind to beat Germany. This just shows you football does not know what we call logic. It doesn't follow any logic, and this was Costa Rica's very first shot on target in that game. So it goes to tell you anything is possible, and having an optimistic mind, an open mind, and a believing mindset can get you far than even your footballing abilities. But you'll have to take your chances, and Ghana will need to do that tomorrow at 1 p.m. GMT versus South Korea. The South Korean coach spoke to the media, as well did Otto, and a few pointers from that pre-match press conference. I'll start with that from Otto. Now, the rumors going around about Otto being fined or possibly being fined by FIFA was cleared in that presser. He said he had not been fined. Otto has not been fined by FIFA, and he took the opportunity to apologize for his outburst, stating that he got a bit emotional after the result, as did most of us. And his comments, he hopes he does not get a fine. For that, quite a smart move from him to avoid a fine by FIFA. And now, going into the press conference, we heard rumors that GFA had petitioned FIFA about the conduct of the referee. Well, it is not true. It was clarified in the press conference that GFA have not petitioned FIFA for the performance of referee from the MLS. Contrary to many reports that made around, it has been cleared here that GFA have not petitioned FIFA about the performance of the referee. So you can chalk that out. We are not getting a comment from FIFA because a petition has not been put forward by them. He also talked about a criticism from the media concerning his tactics and his substitution. He stated that yes, if he had gotten it right, he would be a genius, and media tends to focus on the negative because probably the negative sells. Well, Otto has to understand that the results justifies the means, the end justifies the means, and yes, he is right. If he had gotten it right, he's a genius. That is why he should have made sure that he had gotten it right in that moment. The timing of the substitutions were not the best in everyone or most people's opinion. So yes, in that respect, Otto might have gotten it wrong because it did not work a treat. If it did, we would be saying something else, and that is what he seemed to emphasize. I think he has to understand that yes, the end will justify the means. If we had gotten 3 points and drawn 3-3, as he stated, we might not have been asking this question. So he's right in that respect. Also, he has to know that we will always use the results to justify or to judge him more. He also talked about Son Heung-min, South Korea's biggest threat or biggest known threat to most of those in the media and across the world. Son Heung-min, actually, he had recommended him to BVB, and I wish him very well. He went on into the Premier League to make a mark for himself. He wished him very well, except against Ghana tomorrow. So that was pretty much a briefing of what happened in Otto's presser there early on today. We'll move on to South Korea and Paulo Bento, a Portuguese man. He's the head coach of South Korea. He says that Wolves forward Hwan Hee-chang is not available for this game. He suffered an injury. And Napoli's Kim Min-jae, however, only recovered today and is currently undergoing a late fitness test. And so it's a 50-50 chance as to whether he will play. Son Heung-min had a quiet game versus Uruguay, and the coach said it's because Son is getting used to using a face mask to play. You know, Son had that injury, and that probably would have ruled him out of the World Cup, and he was recommended to wear a face mask. He's getting used to it, and that is why probably he had a quiet game versus Uruguay in the opener that ended 0-0. So he says that against Ghana, he will have a different game, and we hope not. Son's quiet game should continue into the end of the competition. Tomorrow, Ghana know what to do. They have to get all 3 points, and Otto Addo has to switch things up a bit. I like the first half performance versus a team like Portugal, who had a lot of talented players who had played together for a long time, and that has to be stated. They have team chemistry and all that. Ghana showed some fights, but it was not enough to get us a point or 3 from the game. We went with nothing, and the South Korea game has become all the more important. Now, heading into the game, Tariq Lamptey spoke about how optimistic he was ahead of that game and how happy he was to make his debut. We'll have a listen to him after this video, but we're also going to talk about my possible starting 11. I wouldn't change much with the starting 11 that Otto Addo had in that game. A few changes in personnel and probably tweaks in the tactics or the formation would help to take us a long way. But I still think we should move with that 3-back system which Otto Addo used to play versus Portugal, and I think this serves as a treat. However, I feel Andre Ayew should be a bit more upfront alongside Iñaki Williams. Also feel that the substitutions should be made upfront more because Iñaki seems to be a bit more isolated. I think Antoine should be introduced a bit more earlier than he was versus Portugal. So that being said, this is my starting 11 for that game. I would go with Abdul Manaf Nuruddin. I think he should be giving a chance here versus South Korea. Lawrence Atisiki, don't get me wrong, he didn't have a bad game, but I feel that Manaf Nuruddin would be better suited for this game. Though I know it might not happen, I will go for Manaf because of probably the penalty ability that he has and the possibility of anything happening in this game. He also has a sweeper ability, at least he showed it in his games. We'll see what happens. I don't think it will happen, but that is what I want to happen. Ali Dusaidi should continue at right back for me, and he was impressive versus Portugal. In the defense, I think Jiku Amate Salisu should maintain their position in that 3-back system. Gideon Mensah should replace Abdul Babar Rahman. Rahman had his moments, but I feel Gideon Mensah would be better suited in this game. I would play Thomas Partey as well, though he had a game which I think he did not put himself in too much, probably because he doesn't have the same personnel as he does for Arsenal. He needs to up his game and command that midfield there. Kudus Mohamed would be in there for me, along with Salis Abdul Samed. I think he had a great first World Cup game, and he should continue in that position for the Ghana Black Stars. I would bring Iñaki Williams and Andre Ayew up front in that position, and I think this would be a better team to beat South Korea tomorrow in that game. The game kicks off at 1 p.m. GMT, and this is my starting 11 for that game. Let me know what you'd want Otto Addo to make different in that game versus South Korea. What do you think he should change? Which personnel should he introduce? Which players should be in the team for this game? And how should we set up for South Korea, who are known to be a very strong side? They showed their strength in that game versus Uruguay, quite a fast, pacey side. We'll see what happens tomorrow, 1 p.m. GMT, 4 p.m. local time here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. We'll have listened to Tariq Lamptey as he spoke about the South Korea game. Looking forward to it, and playing in his first ever World Cup appearance as a substitute. I'll see you guys in the next one. The final training session for the Ghana Black Stars also was held. Enjoy the rest of the day as we prepare for tomorrow. Enjoy.
Yeah, I think it was a proud moment for both me and my family. I thank God for the opportunity that I was given, but ultimately the result, it wasn't what we wanted, and the main thing is that the team get the right result, and we wanted to get a win, a positive result from the game, and we didn't get that. So it was a bittersweet moment. I was proud to make my World Cup debut and grateful to be given the chance, but I would have liked the team to have obviously got a positive result, and then it would have been fantastic all around. But we're looking forward to the next game.